Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of In My Feelings, a safe space to talk all things NBA. I'm your host, Big Wos. Let's go. All right, guys, let's get right into it. A major news event happening in the NBA. This according to Shams Charania of ESPN. He broke the news on this one. The Los Angeles Lakers have been sold by the Buss family. The sale has been made official. They sold it to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of this diversified holding company, TWG Global. They've been a stakeholder in the Lakers for some years now. They own 26% already. The sale is at a $10 billion valuation. So it says that the Buss family is going to continue to own a little bit over 15% for a time. Walter and his group will own 85% of the Lakers. It's kind of crazy. If you guys remember when the Dodgers got sold a few years back to what was formerly called the Guggenheim Group, that was Walter and his fund. They've renamed it to TWG Global. Again, if you've paid any attention to what's been happening with the Dodgers since those folks came into town, they've made that thing into a world-class organization in terms of management. Went out, got the Tampa Bay Rays GM, who was known as the best guy in the business. They've built out a sort of player development and, player scouting infrastructure that rivals any of the best squads in MLB, and they've basically made themselves into a machine. Obviously, they have a crazy amount of spending power, which I think those two elements, if you're a Laker fan, are the two most important. It's that, one, the Lakers, even though they're the richest team in the NBA, have generally operated as a mom and pop company. Now, what does that mean? Take, for instance, and the Clippers are the most extreme of the examples, but just follow me. The Clippers are owned by Steve Ballmer, who is basically, by orders of several magnitudes, the richest owner in the NBA, right? And so what does that mean? When they need to go out and get a new stadium, the Lakers don't own their stadium. When the Clippers went out and needed to get a new stadium, not only did he, Dolan, whose company actually owns the Forum, tried to muscle him out of building his arena in Inglewood, saying that it would interrupt his businesses or whatever. Dolan took him to court with Jeannie Buss's backing, by the way. Steve Ballmer was like, yo, you know what? Here's $400 million just to get out of my face. We own the Forum now, okay? So he just basically paid $400 million to get rid of a red tape headache and then proceeded to spend billions on building a state-of-the-art new arena, okay? That level of financial firepower has never existed with the Lakers because, again, Steve Ballmer is so insanely rich from his Microsoft work that he can afford to do that kind of thing. And then you think about the Clippers staffing and all the things that go into making an organization top flight. The Lakers have none of that. They basically have a skeleton crew, scouting department, front office, you name it. Don't own their arena. They were operating under so many financial constraints, and that's because Dr. Buss had 6, maybe 7 kids. Sorry, don't quote me on that, but either 6 or 7 kids whose main income is revenue from the Lakers. So what does that mean? When it comes to hiring Ty Lue, easily identified as one of the best coaches in the NBA, wants to be in your building. Your best player, LeBron James, is all for it, loves the guy. You'd have immediate buy-in from one of the best coaches in the league. Lakers ended up not getting this guy because of money. The Los Angeles Lakers, the glamour franchise of the league, is cheaping out on things as important as head coaching hires because of the nature of their ownership, where it's like if all of the siblings have to decide how much money the Lakers ultimately spend on infrastructure and staffing, and it's inverse relation to their own personal incomes. None of these guys went out and built crazy successful companies. I'm not saying they should have. I'm just saying when everybody's golden goose is the team, and literally directly from the team's revenues into their personal pockets, you can see how financial corners always got cut with the Lakers. And that's before we even talk about, the tendency to only hire ex-Laker people or people who are Laker adjacent, whether it be Magic Johnson, whether it be Kupchak, whether it be Byron Scott, whether it be Rob Pelinka, Kobe's old agent, always having this Laker exceptionalism, sort of nepotism almost. If the Lakers organization. We're one big family. Everybody having to come from the Lakers. That's before you talk about the nasty court battle that Jeannie and Jim Buss went through, to wrestle control of the team. Like, there's always just been, especially since Dr. Buss passed away, this soap opera element to the Lakers and their management, and it just speaks to this, penny ante, mom and pop nature of the organization, which I have to say has been to the media our benefit in terms of content, in terms of stuff to constantly be talking about, but it's not how you would ideally run a team. And every time something major has to happen in LA, we're hearing about freaking Kurt Rambis and his wife Linda being big time decision makers. Like, this is minor league shit that they would engage in, man. It literally was run just like insanely. And I don't want to get too tawdry. This is before you even talk about Jeannie Buss was dating Phil Jackson while he was the head coach. Like, this is the type of shit that you just don't do in a professional operation, right? Like, it just doesn't happen. The way they treated Jerry, it's just like so soap opera-ish. And look, I know we're gonna miss it in terms of grist for the media mill. However, I don't know how you can see what's happening with the Dodgers and be a Laker fan and not be upbeat about this change. And look, it's not a one-to-one. There's no salary cap, for instance, in baseball. So the Lakers can't just go out and start buying players. This group also owns Chelsea FC, one of the biggest clubs in all of club soccer, one of the most valuable sports entities in the world. They also own those guys. Like in soccer, you could go out, spend money buying players as well. Like, they're definitely restrained by the cap and that kind of thing. But like, I would be shocked if the Lakers didn't go out and hire some of the most respected minds in NBA GM management circles. They now have the financial heft, and they understand, because of their other professional sports endeavors, that like, this stuff actually does matter. Kurt and Linda Rambis not running your freaking franchise from the shadows actually does matter in the big picture. And yeah, man, I think this is the day, man. The day of this sales, we're going to remember as a day that changed the NBA, man, because the Lakers, who have all of these built-in advantages in terms of market, in terms of history, in terms of brand recognition, easily I mean, as much as the Knicks are a money printing machine, and so is Golden State, the signature franchise of the NBA is the Lakers. And all of those built-in advantages. Now you backstop that with actual financial might, actual professional know-how, actual infrastructure for ensuring that, player development and scouting and, whether it be training, all of the best stuff, the stuff that's sort of the creature comforts of the players that are in the franchise. I would imagine all of that stuff is going to be elevated. And yeah, man, it's a really cool day for Laker fans, I would say. And, the $10 billion valuation, I mean, once I saw Boston Celtics got sold, that don't even own their arena, one of the flagship brands of the league, no doubt about it. You can't compare the freaking Lakers to the Celtics in terms of financial might and the money they're able to generate off of the brand. It's not comparable. And so I'm not surprised at the $10 billion valuation. I was listening to my guy Windhorse over at the Hoop Collective at ESPN, their podcast, and Windhorse mentioned that, TWG Global raised about $15 billion. They're basically like private equity, hedge fund. They got a lot of money from the Emiratis. Something to keep an eye on. just interesting. Just interesting. I guess we still, like, in the NBA, it's not like, let's say, the Premier League or the big leagues in Europe, the big soccer leagues where, the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Qataris, like all of those guys, all of the Gulf countries, they have like these sovereign wealth funds and have bought professional teams like Manchester City, like PSG, like a host of other squads. Newcastle is another one. NBA, you're not allowed to directly sell your team to a sovereign wealth fund, but they put money in Mark Walters' fund, and so they're involved. Just another thing just to, just to think about. Not to get all geopolitical up here. I know we don't do that here at The Ringer, but just something to think about. But yeah, man, it's the end of an era. Dr. Buss bought the Lakers in 1979. The success of the Lakers is unparalleled. 5 rings during Magic's run. 3 with Kobe and Shaq, 2 more with Kobe, the 1 LeBron ring in 2020, 11 rings since 1979, by far the most in the NBA, not even close. Just, you cannot say enough about what Dr. Buss did for this team and for the city in terms of success and joy and championship quality. Again, the Genie and Jim Buss eras, I would say, have not been anywhere close to what Dr. Buss did, but whatever. They still, Laker fans still got a lot to be thankful for, grateful for. And man, to be getting sold to a group that's shown themselves to be so competent at running major sports franchises, this is a pretty cool happening for the Laker fans. All right, folks, that's our show for the season, man. Thank you to everybody that's caught up with the show throughout the season. Appreciate all you guys for checking us out on YouTube. We have a lot of fun doing this, so I want to thank you guys. I want to give a special direct shout out to our producers, Gahal and Victoria. These guys work so tirelessly, effortlessly on this thing. It wouldn't be what it is without them. They really bust their ass to make this thing what it is. And I got a huge appreciation for what they do. So big shout out to Gahal and Victoria. And, shout outs to Keith on social, Jomi on social. Shouts to everybody, man, that got their fingerprints on what we do up here. It's been a super fun season. Love doing the show. Love the feedback, man. Yeah, man, appreciate y'all for being with us on this ride. We will see you guys next season. Peace out.